Whoa, look, Mom, look how cool. Bill Gates just came out with a new fake butter product. Must be delicious.
All right, Andy.
Whoa. What's going on here? As of course, fake meat products are being procured by cancer cells from an old black lady that created a zombie form of it that cannot be destroyed. What in the world's going on here? As of course, I can't believe it's not eugenics, is the slogan that you're going to be saying after watching this particular video. As a Bill Gates-backed company just began producing butter made from carbon. Magic! It's margin 2.0. As we have a issue to talk about that, as one of the largest farm owners in the world is coming up and now introducing more products for us that I have some peculiar questions about. As of course, this plays into the World Economic Forum vision of 2030, which told you guys that you will own nothing, have no freedom, have no privacy, but you will be happier than ever. As the slop water is now in production and soon going to be on your table, whether you like it or not. We're going to go deep down the rabbit hole in this particular video. And if you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course the Epstein list couldn't be released sooner than enough, as a lot of this relates to that and other conspiracies that we are going to be talking about in this particular video. Now, let's just get right into it, as this latest amazing development that the corporate media loves, the corporate media that loves to sing the praises of a man who's invested in a lot of the corporate media and a lot of the scientific community that automatically approves a lot of his products, that is too afraid to question it because of the bill chill, is now coming out and talking about, whoa, this amazing butter, whoa, it's going to be great. Again, synthetic butter. I heard this one before, and that, of course, was margarine. If you look at ants and how they reacted to margarine and then to actual butter, you see the natural habitat not deal well with artificial synthetic products. As, of course, margarine was once told to everyone as a healthy version of butter, as now scientific evidence suggests otherwise. Yeah, of course. As, of course, it is heavily processed and made from inflammatory vegetable oils. Now, anything Bill Gates does automatically, I'm like, how is it going to eugenicize everyone? Since this, of course, is a man that for the last few decades, has been saying way too many people in this world. His family connected to also Planned Parenthood and other kind of eugenics-linked type of operations. Not a coincidence, as he believes that there's way too many people in this world. And he says, if everyone just takes a procedure, that number will go down dramatically. Well, guess what? It looks like Bill Gates, Billy Boy, was prophetic here, as the total fertility rates for countries like Russia, even India, Sweden, Denmark, Kenya, South Korea, United States, China, Spain, all down. Really down in Europe. In Europe, it's really, really down, as people are becoming less and less fertile, having less and less babies, as there's individuals like Elon Musk warning about the dangers to society, not just to our economy, but to civilization itself, with the population not reproducing. We are below reproduction levels, and this will have overwhelmingly extreme negative consequences for all of humanity that we are going to soon have to address in a very serious matter. As, of course, Bill Gates here loves that. One of his good old friends, Mr. Epstein, also was a big enthusiast of eugenics, as now we have this latest project, a company backed by Bill Gates. No animals, no plants, no oils, made from carbon. How do they really do it? As, of course, now the company is going to be working with restaurants, bakeries, food supply chains, and they're going to be incorporating it into your own diet. Why? Because we need to make the weather gooder, said the man, also blocking out the sun, literally like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. That's what he's doing. He's doing that. And no one's batting an eye here. Here's CBS News reporting from Chicago. This amazing development. Ooh, I mean, this is top level type of like PR propaganda. Top level, highest paid for by the dollar propaganda disinformation meant to, of course, sell you this idea. Yeah, synthetic, fake. All of this, as Bill Gates becomes a bigger and bigger farm owner, as the governments are pushing more regulations, more taxes, and more rules that make farming almost impossible for the average farmer. Add that to what Monsanto was doing a few years ago, specifically with all of their pollinating seeds, that if they would pollinate on someone's field, automatically, boom, you got to pay Monsanto. It's crazy. Our regulatory agencies have been hijacked here. But here's this propaganda piece. I want to go over it piece by piece before talking about the eugenics operation here. But let's just play this clip here.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions.
Oh, those emissions. Look at this grotesque propagandist that is just reading off a teleprompter. And of course, it's a woman. They want her to be not a, this is not a threat. Look at this nonsense that we're going to make you eat the slop, said the propagandist that, of course, was probably given a script by Bill Gates. Not literally, but probably his PR people, in my personal opinion, and said, read this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Listen, our food supply chain is under threat. It's terrifying that the guy who believes there's too many people in this world has taken more and more of an interest in our food supply chain. Before talking about that and a lot more, this is one of the reasons I created wearechange.shop. I got products like magnesium glycinate available for you there. Why? A lot of people are deficient in magnesium. Make sure to do your own homework, do your own research before putting anything into your body. But I was using this because I was traveling a lot. I was jet lagged, still am jet lagged. I'm going to be taking some magnesium glycinate today in order to help restore my proper sleep schedule. But magnesium glycinate, really great when it comes to promoting athletic performance, supporting rest and recovery, and a healthy nervous system. There's a lot of really good, amazing, incredible benefits with magnesium glycinate that I have personally seen for myself. That's why I procured it. I made sure I get the best source from it, and I made sure that I want to have my legacy as someone that wants to propel, expand, and grow humanity to its best version ever. I don't want to say there's too many people in this world. I don't want you eating literal growth hormones with emulsified cells from cancer cells from this one particular black lady that everyone now is kind of toting around here and using as this kind of weird scientific experiment. Again, do your own homework. Take care of your health. There's a war on your health. And if you don't realize it, you're under attack. Again, a lot of influencers sell booze and gambling. We don't do that. I like to sell things that actually benefit and make humanity better. If you agree with that message, check out wearechange.shop, and we got a lot of great products available to you there. Now, let's get back to this kind of propaganda piece. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I'm already disgusted. I'm disgusted. Like, ha, 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 ha. This is like weird, like Halloween creepy, one of those like weird jump scares, like scarecrows with a bunch of pig makeup on. Eat the butter made from carbon. As of course you are the carbon that they want to reproduce. But again, already like thick with propaganda here.
Tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia.
In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
It's unprecedented. It's horrible. Butter, like literally, butter's one of the easiest things you can make. One of the most natural, one of the most amazing things you can make. Now, obviously, there's a big problem with factory mass food production. But when it comes to regenerative farming, if you really wanted to take an incentive to help out the world, you would promote that. You wouldn't promote procedures and fake meats based off cancer cells.
So you're using this gas right now to like cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. They're
Savor, of course. It's just so thick here. Ooh, it's Savor, and it's all women. You see how it's all females? Why? Because it's less threatening, less assuming. Oh, look at the nice lady reading the nice script. Look at her makeup. Look at her bobs. Ooh, yeah. That's literally how they think of you. That's literally how they're like, okay, look, it's amazing. It's unprecedented. Ooh, look at that. And I'm like, shut up, Karen. I'm sick of you. Sick of you and your eugenics operation that you don't even know you're a part of.
Pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
How do you really make it, though? All right, okay. Don't tell me. I don't know, of course, they don't explain it in this video. It's amazing.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that
Another woman.
looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
Butter is just butter. Just go get butter. This other synthetic stuff. What ingredients does this have? Can you tell me?
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up
Natural flavors. Yeah, natural flavor. That's the biggest joke ever.
of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here, replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's sustainability, aka the green leftist liberal woke agenda that is making life more unaffordable, more expensive, and more difficult for the average person, all in the name of serving your corporatist overlords and bowing down to, of course, the green god energy overlords that now will tell you, no, we need to lock you down. No, you can't travel too much. No, you're over-consuming. You're overeating. You don't deserve that much. We deserve it. We deserve to fly in those private jets, and those are the kind of perfect representations of this green new energy. And of course, look, we got fat cells. Listen, this is probably growth hormones, emulsified cells, cancer cells from this Harita Lax lady who essentially had a zombie form of cancer cells that they now cultured without her consent in the beginning. And they're like, oh, look, we can make things grow here magically. And it's like, no, we just use water and air. It's carbon. It's just carbon. No. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated than that here, okay?
It's all done releasing zero greenhouse gases using
Again, zero greenhouse gases. And you want to get rid of greenhouse gases, you go to China, you go to India, you go to Africa, okay? That conversation isn't started here. Western countries that are dealing with a major population crash are told, no, you're going to have to pay more for energy. No. You're going to have to offset your carbon. No. You got to have less babies. You're having way too much babies. Stop having babies. The imported people that we're going to take your tax dollars and help replace you, that are, of course, not as culturally linked to this land, that are more able to, of course, go along with what we want them to go along. And that's why most immigrants are predominantly liberal. Yeah, those are the people. Yeah, go have babies. We'll even finance it through the taxpayer of the current people that live there.
no farmland to feed cows.
We're not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though we're standing in a factory setting,
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this, right, the land footprint is 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
I know what you're thinking.
I think we need to taste this. I would love for you to taste this.
How does it taste?
I love butter, so I'm going to take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter.
Cheers. We're tasting butter.
Another reason they say this makes an
Scarecrow lady
impact, no palm oil, a significant contributor to deforestation and climate change. That's not all. Of the 51 billion tons of greenhouse gases emitted every year, 7% is from the production of fats and oils from animals and plants. So when could you get a taste yourself?
Yeah, it's going to come without you having a choice in the matter here, okay? Especially when we have this onslaught of regulatory and taxation attacks on local farmers, okay? Listen, if you know what's going on in suburbia, you see more and more just impossible scenarios that multiple people are forced to comply with that they're not able to comply with because of big government overreach. Now, again, all the big major factories with lobbyists, they're able to get whatever they want. The small-time consumers, they're getting pushed out more and more, not just in the United States, but also in the United Kingdom Jeremy Clarkson reports on this type of insanity that's kind of happening there. And it's happening all over. There's a reason there are mass protests all over Europe being like, look, you guys are taxing us even more because of like these green energy deals and resolutions that are essentially destroying small mom and pop independent kind of food creators, all while the big multinational corporations, they're able to, of course, exist better than ever. And of course, what better way to subjugate a population than, of course, control the food that they're forced to eat because there's no other food around, because all the other farmers that are actually doing the good stuff, they're out of business.
Right now, they're working directly with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers, releasing these chocolates made with their butter in time for the holidays.
Savor butter in either its current manifestation or with our partners, we expect that to be on the shelves kind of more like around 2027.
Their teams here in Batavia, Illinois, and
And listen, a lot of this stuff is just going to be just put on your plate. Oh, you're at a nice fancy restaurant. Oh, yeah. I'll get the cancer-celled steak, please. Right? And again, Bill Gates having a big sudden interest. This is what the market tech said on Twitter. Bill Gates' sudden interest in the food chain should concern everyone. Don't put anything he touches into your body. A simple rule to live by is, of course, there's a lot of fake medical procedures, a lot of fake fruit, fake vegetables, fake meat, and now fake butter, as consuming fake stuff that is artificially made, all in the guise of we got to save the planet, to me is just absolutely insane. The planet, especially with regenerative farming, could grow. Now, again, this is not just butter. It's everything. They want you to eat the slop. They want you to eat the soy. They want you to be feminized here. Eating meat has been shown to, of course, increase testosterone. People with higher testosterone are less likely to go with groupthink kind of ideology. You get people off meat, as there's been a big attack on meat, you get lower testosterone, less fertility, less babies, less people, less successful marriages, less successful individuals who are willing to stand up against the tyranny that you wish to impose on everyone since you want to be an overlord. And that's what billionaires do when they have too much money. Listen, ABC News, USDA approves first ever cell cultivated meat for American manufacturers. Again, this stuff is probably out there. How is it made? Immortalized cell lines. The truth about lab-grown meat. As this is from Raw Egg Nationalist saying, I've been talking a lot recently about immortalized cell lines, ICLs, which are used to produce so-called lab-grown meat. ICLs are functionally indistinguishable from cancer. And there are other problems too. Yeah, most of it are from cancer cells from this one particular lady, Harita Lax. Okay, as a biotech company had to settle because people were saying, "Hey, this woman just came into the hospital. She had cervical cancer, and this blob of cancer would grow like Frankenstein astronomically." She, of course, passed away. And then the doctors at Johns Hopkins hospitals were like, this is like a weird Frankenstein type of zombie cancer cell. Let's take it. And now they're taking that cell from this black woman and they're using it to generate lab-grown meat, lab-grown fake stuff. And it's probably, again, they didn't say it in this interview, probably what they're using here. And again, Bill Gates throughout the years. Way too many people in this world. Way too many. We got to stop that.
The population is growing. Population problem. The population growth rate goes down. You're going to have a tripling in population by 2050. The world today has 6.8 billion people. Yep. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Here we can see a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years. And at first glance, this is a bit scary.
Terrifying. What? There's people, growing. And again, you look at all the numbers right now, all the projections are like, all the projections are going down. We are below replacement level towards astronomical levels, especially in the Western world, especially in places like Japan, especially in places like Europe. And again, they're like, oh no, we got to make sure we lower those numbers. We got to make sure people aren't eating meat. There's even ticks that make you allergic to meat. As The Guardian writes, explosive increase of ticks that cause meat allergy in U.S. due to climate crisis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the people who want to reduce you, reduce you as the carbon that they don't like, are talking about specifically. There's just way too many of you guys. As again, we got to understand here. This is Bill Gates, who his own wife was talking about how he would not stop hanging out with individuals like Jeffrey Epstein.
Through her phone, she was a little younger then, watching these headlines. You also talk about how Bill, you said, betrayed your values. When you realized that for yourself, how did you explain that to Phoebe?
She understood. She knew what had happened. She had enough information about what happened that she understood that I needed to move along. Yeah. And it was sad for all of us.
Yeah, she diplomatically very much answered that question. And listen, all this stuff highlights to one general understanding. There's a eugenics operation already at play here. This stuff of this type of stuff of fake everything absolutely needs to be thoroughly investigated, looked into, as there's wild individuals out there like Bill Gates already blocking out the sun, already creating a lot of these products. These products appeal. All these other stuff, the plastic lining now on organic fruits and vegetables inside of Whole Foods, all that stuff, that's already out there without our acquiescence, without our understanding, without our acceptance of it, without our permission. That, to me, deserves a real conversation. If you agree, share this video. Thank you so much for everyone who supports us and supports their own independent health journey on wearechange.shop. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. For spending time with us. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.